But yeah, is there like a significant lag between my lips moving and my... About how many milliseconds would you estimate?
How could we not monitor our own crowdfunding our IT problems?
Tracy's a drunk robot now.
Okay, so the audio is horrible. Is that
Yeah,
what's going
it's
on?
got the effect where you're speaking into a fan. Okay, I'm trying a half-second delay on my audio, so let me know how that looks. He's finally got out of the damn washing machine, and now he's stuck in a fan. I know.
Well,
I guess we got to get 50 more followers.
yes, I was building to that. So as a fan, it's not blowing my hair. I think that's the hairspray I use, but Rich, I'm in a fan, and it's because our fans have put us in their friends and not getting us to one. And yes, subs, not follows. We're past follows.
It's not helping that
guys.
your audio is also like it's obviously slowed down, and then like every once in a while it catches up, so it just skips like a few words.
Let me tell
making
you
sound-
about the political landscape of 1997, all right?
You can tweet it with the hashtag. Am I organic again?
Okay, there we go.
Not quite, no.
No, sorry. Okay,
Hey,
but I've got
guys,
Michael on
please
screen.
remember to buy organic ration.
organic wation.
When you're filling up on Wation this Christmas.
All right, well, I thought I saw Drew in the Discord. Maybe he's here with us tonight, but I'm Tristan from Quip Tracks. The drunk robot is Tracy. This is Michael T. Bradley from Ice on Mars.
Hello.
And we're ready to read another chapter of my personal junior high Star Wars fan fiction. And it's the only known copy. There's no digital.
Oh, wow. That's a treasure map.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it's scanned now, I guess.
Oh, okay.
If you were here last week, you would have heard us read the first half. Chapter 1 was called The Bounty Hunters Guild, where we learned about the Bounty Hunters Guild, which is not really a bounty hunter community. They were instead a motley group of thieving, swindling, gambling, and violent-loving non-humans who frequently got into fights at any cantina they could find. They blew up a nerf herder, who was scruffy-looking, no less.
Of course.
By the name of Carl Wilmch.
Carl. Oh, that makes me mad.
Just so happened to be the best friend of one Boba Fett. And so he planned his revenge. He bought some curved talons and a spray bottle. And he used that to spray some blood around a crime scene and blow up the whole Bounty Hunters Guild. And frame Bosk. What was that?
Carefully set up fake blood and then blow up the entire building.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's human
hey!
Tracy. Yay.
You got the water out of your tracheotomy hole. That's great news.
Yes, but only barely. If I don't get 50 subscribers.
We will read
Robot Tracy from here on out.
Yeah.
I'm sure to die.
Yep.
Wow. Golly. So tell your friends, people. This fan fiction is about to get way worse. You're probably in boredom reading ahead here, and you can see some of the goofiness. But this is where the Douglas Adams influence really starts to take over the story. Michael, do you have the text ready, or are you ready to?
Yeah, just in advance, I have to full screen it to be able to read it, and my voice is a little fucked up, so like I have been.
Yeah, if you like, I can take over narration if that's.
Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay. We'll see how far through it we get. Just as a warning, it might devolve into me hacking and coughing, and you having to take over before long. But
okay. And Tracy, do you want to take Craig Spellborn? Is that something you can do?
Boy,
Although
yes.
he's screaming. I see screaming, and I'm the only one that's going to be able to scream and not have Discord block it.
Let's try something. I have a mixer as well.
Okay.
It is small, but it is mighty. Yes, it is mighty.
Okay, scream for us right now. Do a scream.
Okay, I ruined everything. Damn it.
Oh, no, all right.
I tried to do something with the mixer, and now it's all over. It's over.
I'm gonna do one of those
smoking
whisper
ruin.
screams. There's always the whisper scream where you're like, where it's so loud you're quiet again.
Right.
Yeah, just do that. Like, we know what's going on. Oh. Ouch.
all right, should we?
Okay,
should
let's
we
dive into it. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I like the font here for Craig. No idea what font that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. It was something that came standard on Windows 2000.
Sure. Chapter 4, Craig Spellborn. Dashing, daring, charming, obnoxious, impertinent, fair-haired, obnoxious, crack-shot, extremely popular, obnoxious, and outlawed on 5 systems. Craig Spellborn. Craig was a very famous actor, whether he liked it or not. His pet Celine... His
Who
pet...
accidentally becomes famous actor? Like, oh, damn it. I'm Brad Pitt. Jeez.
I feel like Kurt Cobain accidentally became like famous rock star, right? Like
That's
it was
true.
like, yeah. So he's basically Kurt Cobain. I'm sure that fits the mood here.
Yeah.
His pet Celine was Sluppy, and his pet peeves were lawyers, tax collectors, and above all else, talent agents.
Oh, boy.
Talent agents.
Sure, because he's an actor, and they got him famous against his wishes, apparently.
Yeah.
Because of his former agent, he was now stranded on Tatooine, trying desperately to regain his lost 10,000 credits. Craig was standing on the desolate sand dune that he liked to think of as his front yard. Sometimes, if stood out in the sun too long, he could see hills covered in grass. But these visions were short-lived because he usually either passed out from the heat or tripped over a stone as he merrily attempted to skip through the mirage. He had just had a heated argument with his new agent, Jed Fostar, about having a
Fostar, yep.
about having a bodyguard.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if we could accept Skywalker, why not Fostar?
Yeah.
True.
Jed had insisted on Craig being
runner.
Yes.
Was that the voice of Kevin?
Yeah.
Cool.
Everybody's in here now. Jed had insisted on Craig being well protected, but Craig had argued that as long as he had a Blast Tech DL-44 heavy blaster pistol at his side, he was safe.
We're only a few paragraphs in, and we've already had a few like name drops of like trading cards that I had. Although I don't think any Sleen was canonically named Sluppy. Thank God. Still,
Jed had said.
I think that you should be, well, under at least some protection.
Craig had ended the discussion by demonstrating his personal quick draw. He had seemed simply to appear behind Jed, blaster suddenly in hand. With one quick stroke, he had had the gun point to the side of Jed's head. Jed had wavered a moment and then had fled to his room. Now Craig stood still for a moment, his bare feet immersed in the cool sand, silently.
I don't think that last sentence had enough hads in them. I really want to make sure you knew it was past tense.
Jed had did wavered a moment and then had did fled. Now Craig stood still for a moment, his bare feet immersed in the cool sand, silently wishing that someone would come to rescue him from eventual insanity.
Save me!
He screamed into the night. Just then he spotted a shooting star streaking across the sky. Could this be it? He wrenched his eyes closed and wished so hard he got a headache. After a few seconds, he opened one eye just in time to see the shooting star crash into a rocky dune. He paused, gaping in disbelief. Then he sunk to his knees.
Why?
He sobbed. He fell face first to the ground. It hurt. If there had been anyone around, they would have fled from the seemingly unstable and dangerous man. He did, after all, look somewhat insane lying face down in the sand, never moving, all alone in the night. Really, does that make him look insane? He's just lying there motionless. That seems like he's sleepy rather than insane. A thought struck him so hard that he tried to sit up, failed.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
So, hold on. Maybe it... Oh, that's awful.
Now, what happened?
Langus on.
My Nikon is a viable replacement. It can get a clean HDMI signal, but apparently, I don't know, there's probably a setting in there to turn off the auto...
shutdown or whatever?
Yeah. It's probably a setting. I was hoping So, I bought these cables so that I would have a backup in case, like I have to send a camera off for repair. But I neglected to buy a power supply for this particular camera. I've got a backup battery, which I will probably have to switch to at some point, but hopefully it'll last us the night. Okay, a thought struck.
A thought struck him so hard that he tried to see. We should just go like full on conspiracy theory. We're managing DDoS attacks here. A thought struck him so hard. I didn't see the rest of that. Sorry. That he tried to sit up, failed, and settled.
Just settled.
He settled. For at least rolling over so he could breathe comfortably. Perhaps the contents of whatever landed was still alive, but the possibility was so slim that, in one amazingly futile effort to make it back to his hut from a sitting position in a single bound, he landed flat on his face a few feet away. It hurt. He got up. He got up and entered his rock hut. Jed, who was sulking in a corner, quickly disappeared from sight.
Rock hut, 1 block away from the Love Shack.
I was trying to make a Java play out there, but it did not work. Craig went to his room, put on a leather pair of pants, and put a blast-proof vest under his shirt. He had no idea.
It wasn't Jabba the Hutt. It was a rock hut.
God damn, let's just sing Rock Lobster for 6 minutes. He had no idea what he was up against. He might not even
Somebody brought matching owls. We'll just pepper it throughout the story.
All right.
Yeah.
He might not even come back alive. Craig put an extra energy cell clip into his utility belt. Oh, he's like Batman. Then he noticed his clothes bag and decided to take it. As he headed to the door, Jed stopped him.
Just where are you going?
He inquired suspiciously. Craig faked a reach for his blaster, making Jed dive behind the sofa. Craig chuckled, shaking his head, and left. Oh, wow, you got a shaking the head and chuckling in there. If only you'd chuckled a bit, you would have hit fanfiction gold there.
Yeah.
It's so is Jed's name supposed to be a hint that he's a Force user?
No.
Jed.
Okay.
Like Jed.
I don't think he shows up again.
His autobiography is called Jed, I.
No, but think about it. That's how Yoda talks.
Jed,
Jedi.
Wow, yeah.
I think
Spitfire.
doesn't Jed strike oil in a minute after shooting at some food?
Yeah.
Just blasting at some food.
This is
Spitfire says Rock Hut is Jabba's cousin, played by Dwayne Johnson.
This is Gruganar or whatever the hell his name is. Gruggy, the child on the damn show that everybody loves.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Grogu.
Yeah, this is Grogu all grown up. Jed,
Yeah,
hi.
What the heck?
Grogu. Yeah.
Grogu. It's baby
Sorry.
Yoda, the baby
I didn't
Yoda
come
name.
up with it.
Oh,
No, it's not Griswold.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
Craig wasn't.
Wait, so it's
Ring
not
the
even.
wall.
Wait, it's like a different Yoda.
It's
Or
not.
does
It's not
need to
Yoda.
change at some point?
It's just the same species as Yoda.
you know, planets all have
Wow.
only one environment, but there's many of each species.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I've never seen the show, and everybody just calls him Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
But
Because
he didn't have
he's
a
a
name.
baby and
It
he
was
looks like.
actually Yoda.
Yeah, but no, he got a name recently.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And no,
Oh.
I heard it and I was like, oh, nobody's going to like that name. Grogu. Ugh.
Also, if I
Gosh,
understand,
it's going to be the Derpy Hooves fiasco all over again.
also if I understand correctly, the show is set like 2 years or so after Return of the Jedi, maybe 5 years after.
Yeah,
So-
something like that.
So like it's, I mean, Yoda's dead by
Okay.
now.
I thought it was way in the past.
Me too. Yeah, but
yeah.
It
Fun
all is
fact.
We're
from our
all learning a
perspective.
lot today.
fun fact, if we're dealing with like Star Wars headcanon here, so I saw Star Wars for the first time when I was like 16 or something. Like it just never appealed to me, and then but like my best friend was so into it. But anyway, point being, Yoda has that line where he's like, it's all fucked up like order wise, but it's something like, see how good you look when you're 900 years old, right? And because of that line, you know how like when humans get older, they start like hunching over and getting smaller and getting like hair in weird places.
Mhm.
So I just assumed that the Force basically made you immortal and that Yoda was a really old human.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
the ears just kept growing.
Yeah. And
I've seen that happen, though. People's ears do get longer.
And for
they stay alive too
years,
long.
for years I assumed that. And then when the prequels came out, there was this like big stir because in one of the like Senate shots, you actually see another member of Yoda's race. Her name was Yaddle, and it was like,
I was trying to think of that. Yeah, Yaddle.
yeah, and
Go ahead.
and I was like,
Did you have that card, Tristan?
No.
and I was like, what do you mean another member of his race? He's human, and so it was very confusing for me.
But that was just crushing. I mean, how embarrassing for you.
How
That's
embarrassing!
a crazy thing to think.
How embarrassing for George Lucas. That's really
What if he was human, but he was just a green race of human with long ears that exists in the Star Wars
well.
universe.
Now we know that's not true because Grogu or whatever is he looks like Yoda when he's little.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Those people really devoted to the Green
This-
Party, and eventually became part of their
happens to
DNA.
All right, okay, back to it. Craig wasn't really insane, although he sometimes convinced himself and others that he was. When he was serious, he could get amazing things done. Right now, he was serious. Dune after dune went by until he wondered whether Okay, it's
Yeah.
it's. I was
Wrong
like, wait,
weather.
is the wondered wrong? But it was the weather. Okay, Dune after Dune went by until he wondered whether he had missed it. Finally, he spotted it. He climbed its stony bank to the top, where he stood, bewildered. The ship was on, presumably, it is back, because he could see the windshield facing up, but it seemed to have no forward thrusters. It was as if it were meant to go only up. The base of the ship was oblong and rounded, whereas the cockpit was on a large, strangely shaped thing protruding from the base. Okay.
It's a strangely shaped thing.
Face.
Yeah.
Oblong.
I mean, if you look
And
up a picture of the slave one, I don't know if you'll be able to describe it.
Oh,
much
okay.
better than
Yeah.
that on the
All
slide.
right. I now that I know that it's Slave One, I'm like, yeah, that actually kind of works. All right. A man came into view, silhouetted against the burning ship. A man that wore a special
can
kind
I,
of. What was that?
Can I interrupt for one moment?
Yeah.
The that description, I'm just imagining Boba Fett go at like filing a report saying, someone stole my ship. What did the ship look like? The base of the ship is oblong and rounded, whereas the cockpit is on a large, strangely shaped thing protruding from the base.
One of those.
Look, can I just draw it for? No, sir, you can't.
No. Our sketch artist has to do it from your description. That's how it works.
This is crime, sir, not Pictionary.
This drawing just looks like a penis. That's sir.
That's it.
That's since Misha's not here, that should be your next fan art experiment. You read this description to her, and she'll draw what she thinks it is.
There you go. So this man that came into view wore a special kind of odd armor. Good. Again, that's how else are you going to describe the Mandalorian armor, right? Yeah. A man that had a gun. Craig froze. He dropped his bag and slowly raised his hands in the air. Then, without warning, he sprang behind a nearby rock, grabbed his blaster, and shot at the stranger. You're gone again, Tristan. He missed. The man had rocketed into the air. Now the mystery man fired a bolt at Craig, who rolled out of the way. Mr. Mystery landed and shot Craig's gun away. It rolled and tumbled halfway down the hill. He was a goner. Craig was starting to agree with Jed about that bodyguard thing. Craig could see the man quite well now. In the flickering fire...
Hey, Eli, thank you.
And what was that? Oh.
Eli said looking great.
Got it.
I'm just going to take a second to take this off of the mount and look through the menu to see if I can turn that off.
Okay, I'll prompt you if you have a line here.
Okay.
In the flickering firelight, he saw that the man had a helmet whose visor was in the shape of a T. His armor was a pale green and gray and was covered in battle scars. All Craig could do was lay there and stare into the face of death. The silence was near unbearable, broken only by the constant crackle of the burning ship that Craig had thought was his savior. But the spaceman didn't shoot him. Instead, he put away his gun.
Like in this universe, you're going to call somebody a spaceman.
Is this also like Pink Floyd influence? The spaceman didn't shoot him. It sounds like something from...
Right, like you can expect kind of a Robert E. Howard-y sort of cover on the like Fantastic Tales issue or whatever. If you can move it to the next page.
Oh yeah.
Craig raised an eyebrow, and then he speaks.
Well,
he demanded,
"Are you going to shoot me or not? Because if there's 10... Okay, sorry. Because if there's 10 things I hate, indecisiveness is somewhere near the bottom. But that's still pretty high considering how many things I really hate."
Hey, this is Craig, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed my chance to be Craig.
I already did the screaming, so you could take over if you want.
Awesome. Okay.
Well,
you'll just be my scream double.
What am I saying?
Okay. Well, why don't you just take the screams?
Okay.
All right.
He immediately regretted saying this because the man stooped over him and brought him roughly to his feet. Boba Fett speaks.
Yeah. Oh, and we decided he's basically Clint Eastwood. So, do you know who I am?
He growled in Craig's face.
No.
Craig said evenly.
I was even.
I am Boba Fett,
He declared.
the single most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy.
So?
Said Craig, who had gathered up his courage enough to make such shrewd comments.
Very shrewd of
So
him.
you have a rather large bounty on your head. What was that?
Very shrewd.
I
believe
said,
was the
said
comment.
how shrewd of him.
Oh yeah, I was gonna make that joke, but that's probably the joke that I was intentionally making. Honestly,
Like, it was supposed to be clever?
yeah, I think it was supposed to be sarcastic.
Oh. Oh.
So,
Okay, should have done more vocal warm-ups. So you have a rather large bounty on your head, Mr. Spellborn.
Oh.
Thrilling dialogue. Come with me.
Craig picked up his bag and followed Fett away from the wreck site.
Just how big is this supposed bounty on my head?
1,000,000 credits.
Craig was so...
1,000,000 credits.
1,000,000 credits.
It's $1,000,000.
Craig was so taken aback at this that he stumbled to the ground. He spends more time on the ground.
I know.
He got up.
He was force taken aback. Soared across the landscape.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Craig, but it is a scream.
Oh, okay, can you hear this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, 1,000,000 credits? Heck, am I really worth that much?
No.
Yeah, right. But why would anyone pay that much for me?
That's not for you to know.
No, sure, whatever. I bet you're just saying that because you don't know.
Shut up, Spellborn.
He did, but a smug expression remained on his face. The next few...
Shut up, Spellborn.
this fall on Disney+. Plus.
Yep.
The
I
ne-
mean, honestly, we could probably pitch this to Disney and they would automatically greenlight it at this point.
Right.
Like, you've been struggling with how to get your Star Wars franchises onto Disney Channel. We have a solution.
The next few dunes were passed in silence until they finally came to a cave in the side of a cliff. To enter, one had to walk up a steep slope alongside the face of the cliff. They entered,
Oh, no.
and Boba chained their wrists together with a pair of binders. If only life were like the movies. If only life were like the movies Craig made. Alas, there would be no easy getaway this time.
Then he got away.
To enter this sacred site, you must walk up the steep slope. The steep slope.
It seems weird to me that like he just kind of went along with him this far before Boba Fett thought to put binders on him.
Yeah, I guess he had him at gunpoint that whole time.
Craig,
I just want to point out, it's interesting that long before I took an interest in graphic design, I apparently knew that after a break, the first paragraph doesn't get an indent.
that's sure. I mean, that's that might have also been automatically done
Kindergartner doesn't know that.
by your Well, I mean, you were
Microsoft publisher.
yeah. Well,
maybe.
Also, you were
Okay.
If there's a Douglas Adams influence, then you were reading books with breaks, so you might have just
True. I learned something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems possible. You know that
Yes.
for the pluperfect pass, you need a had in there. God damn it, you know that. And you know you're still at no signal, right?
Yeah, I'm still looking through this menu. I've never had to do this before. So
Craig heard a
I might
scuffling
just put
sound.
it back on. It's
Craig, just making sure. Craig heard a scuffling sound and a slight jingle like that of keys coming from the entrance to the cave.
is this
Boba,
oh,
yeah.
Sorry. There we go. Oh. Right. Okay.
Oh no!
Shut up, Spellborn.
It's really
It's
going to be
his
the catchphrase.
Shut up.
Okay, we need art of that. That's one spot. We need art of that. Calling out all artists. Clip this.
Well, you're the official
Clip
illustrator.
If there's one thing you clip tonight, let it be this.
His captor mumbled.
This is it, Craig.
It wasn't me.
Craig Spellborn is played by Shaggy. This seemed to alarm him because he instantly leapt to his feet, dragging Craig painfully along by the wrist behind him. Craig thought he heard him exclaim something very impolite as he fell back down, apparently enraged that he had forgotten that they were attached.
Mr.
Fett. Boba Fett.
He snapped as he stood up once again. This time Craig stood up with him. This time Craig stood up with him, and they succeeded in maintaining balance. It's kind of like a Zen thing, yeah, balance.
Now we change the page.
Can we get like cheesy page turning effects?
Oh, hi everybody. Hi Eli. Hi Spitfire.
Oh, he's back.
Hi, your wonderful old building and loan. All right, let's go.
Zeus paddles. In the dim light, he could just make out the silhouette of a womp rat very near the cliff just outside the entrance to the cave. Oops.
It all comes back to womp rats.
Now Craig understood his concern.
Oops. I should have a bleep ready for myself, but blasted little friggin'
Fett shouted. Indeed, it was holding Fett's gun and the keys to the binders in his mouth, and it was dangerously close to the edge.
I thought he was holding the gun at them.
Yeah, I was picturing that he was holding the gun and the keys are in its mouth. You know,
oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, like I'm because I'm like, maybe womp rats are what's the word for like upright, right? I don't know.
Well, they're 2 meters long. We know that much.
Yeah. But, Craig reminded himself, it surely wasn't smart enough to go through But, okay, I see what's going on here. But, Craig reminded himself, it surely wasn't smart enough to throw Fett's gun off the cliff, was it?
Yeah.
Look out, the rat's got a gun, says Spitfire. And I mean, I would be scared if a rat had a gun pointed at me.
It's a womp womp rat. Womp womp.
Rat.
Or it's about to be.
His head
Should have
swiveled.
saved that.
His head swiveled quickly to face them, and immediately, Craig had grab a small outcropping of rock protruding from the cave wall for support. He got really excited at this action scene. He had heard about womp rats, but nothing anyone could have told him could have prepared him for this. In the moonlight, everything ugly and menacing about it was intensified. In Craig's eyes, it was probably the most horrifically evil thing that had ever set foot on Tatooine. Impulsively, he reached for his blaster, but found only an empty holster.
Thanks a lot, Fett.
he thought to himself.
Technically, thanks, Allet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Womp Rat.
Well, it's just a different language. It's an alien swear.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
The Womp Rat growled. It was the kind of low, rumbling growl that made you realize the power of what you're up against. It also had the explosion that told you it could wait till you were old and gray to attack. All that combined with the drool glistening on the tip of one of his teeth and the fact that neither of them of them had blasters didn't do anything to comfort him. Boba Fett, however, seemed confident enough. He raised his arm, with Craig's along with it, and steadied it with his other hand, pointing straight at the devilish creature. Craig was wondering... I just want him to wrist blast the gun out of his paw, you know?
Yeah.
Craig was wondering just what he planned to do by pointing at it when a laser bolt shot from his wrist that missed by mere millimeters. Craig jerked back reflexively.
I'm so glad that was the smallest laser blast that I have.
Stand still, Fett snapped. Craig shot him an I don't need any of your comments look. Meanwhile, the Womp Rat
One
was...
of those.
Meanwhile, the Womp Rat was stumbling back in surprise. And then there's immediately an apostrophe, or, the thing showing that somebody's talking, so I immediately assumed it was the Womp Rat.
Oh.
No! I'm just a rat! Just a rat! No!
Craig pleaded, and he knew that Fett was doing the same. Wait, Fett is pleading as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Mentally.
The gun was on the edge of the cliff when the Womp Rat bumped into it and sent it clanking down into the abyss, the ravine.
Craig?
Oh, can you not hear me now or something?
Oh, we can now, but I didn't hear you say, you know.
Okay. You know,
Craig said,
if you hadn't blown my gun away, we might have gotten yours back, and...
Shut up.
Boba replied.
Did you think I would leave you with a blaster while I slept?
That's almost a country song title. Did you think I would leave you with a blaster? Anyway, Craig couldn't think of a good retort, so he just snorted indignantly, although he knew Fett was right. Fett raised his arm again for another shot and found that his wrist was smoking. Both of them stumbled backward in shock.
Okay, I need somebody to actually give me a link to this. Is this on Drive?
No.
Because I'm trying to... No, I was trying to watch it on Twitch, but it's strangling my internet so badly that I can't actually read it now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's... Okay. I mean... I will work on that in the background. Your line is, what did you do? Question mark, exclamation point, question mark.
Klondike Bart.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what did you do?
Demanded Craig.
Good. I could hear both question marks and the exclamation point in the middle.
Well, that's
Also,
what I do.
Spitfire, yes, this is the Abyss, the Ravine. There was the Abyss, the movie, then the Abyss, the movie, the ride, and now the Abyss, the movie, the ride, the Ravine. Okay.
Scrunch my face up. It must have been damaged in the crash.
Fett replied.
We're lucky it didn't explode the first time I used it.
Okay, Tracy, your line is, what'll we do now? But now this is followed by a question mark, exclamation point, and then 2 question marks.
What do we do now?
Quiet.
Craig grabbed a rock and hurled it at...
Get up, billboard.
Craig grabbed a rock and... Spitfire says, the abyss, the flamethrower. Craig grabbed a rock and hurled it at the Womp Rat, hitting it in the... Nards? I'm going to guess Nards. Is it Nards? Nards.
Oh, hold on. Damn
I
it.
don't
I have so much
think
to do.
it's Nards. I would be surprised if it's Nards. It's not very.
That would be
Douglas
impressive because they're.
Leg.
Then again, I used to bullseye Womp Rat Nards in my teaser's team.
He wondered how anyone could have possibly missed the first Death Star's exhaust port, having lived on Coruscant at the time
God
of...
damn it. God damn it.
Hey, listen, good job on those index.
Having lived on...
What kind? Everybody at the bar is talking about how they totally missed the exhaust ports on the Death Star, and it's like, how? It's not much bigger
Well,
than 2
you're about to
meters.
learn.
The size of a Womp Rat.
Having lived on Coruscant, okay, come on, you had to have a card for Coruscant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I
For
thought
Crescent?
I knew it better than I did.
At the time of the Death Star's destruction, he heard all about it. Unfortunately,
Oh, I heard all about that.
Unfortunately, the Womp Rat didn't like being hit by rocks. It raised its head high and let out an extremely loud bellow like that of nothing Craig had ever heard.
Now, just why did you do that?
Fett inquired.
Your line is, what?
What?
No, what isn't like what? Do what? Why did you do that? What?
What? What?
Hit it in the
What?
leg.
Hidden leg?
Hit it in the leg.
Hit it in the leg.
I'm just going to take over until I can upload this. folder.
Spitfire says, listen, I used to live on a buttery baked good. How did you miss the exhaust port?
Tristan, take a screenshot of the page you're looking
Oh my
at.
God.
Print it and fax it to me.
If this takes more than 10 seconds, I'm just going to take over.
Surely you can just drag it into the
Now
direct
you
messages
lost
on.
signal.
Hit the button. Take a picture of myself, I guess.
Hey, you're not there anymore.
Hit
It's
that
fine.
button.
What?
Okay,
you
should be
focus
back.
on that. I'll do Boba Fett.
Quest
We still need a
icon,
Craig, though,
upload.
right?
Upload.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Okay. Share. Tracy. Share. Notify. Message. Send. Okay.
Now, why did you do that?
What?
Hit it in the leg.
To injure it? Spelled INJER?
Endure it.
To injure it?
Spitfire says that must be
Brilliant.
French.
Yeah. Injure.
Brilliant. Now it's calling its friends.
Now he heard it. A dozen more calls in answer to the first, and getting louder. Now the first one charged. Just imagine them all armed. Craig was just wishing for a quick and painless death when a stake of flame emitted from Boba Fett's other wrist.
Stake of flame.
Guy Fieri, secret weapon. Stake of flame.
Welcome to Flavor Town, bitches. Engulfing the rat in fire. It fell to the ground, howling with pain, and skidded to a stop in front of Boba Fett, who kicked its rothless head.
Wow.
Said Craig.
I suppose that's smoking now too, huh?
Nope. We were lucky this time.
Well, I've got plenty more womp rats. Well, we've got plenty more womp rats to get unlucky again.
Craig and Boba Fett get lucky. The reinforcements stood in the cave entrance, ready to charge.
We're standing by. Womp 6 standing by.
Okay, what page are we on right now?
You gotta
don't
know
have
what
numbers.
page. God.
Yes,
Wasn't
I
it
have
just
access to all the
halfway
pages.
through?
Wasn't it just
Like,
a snapshot?
check, like-
What the hell did you...
Check like 18 to 20. No, I
Okay,
just
I
uploaded
think
the
I'm
whole
narrowing in.
folder of images.
The first line on the page is leg. He wondered how anyone.
Yeah,
I'm right there. Okay.
cool. And we're at weight in the middle.
Okay, we're gonna wait.
Craig said.
I might have something to help us.
He snatched his bag and flung it open. Several hairspray bottles fell to the ground.
Who packed those?
He wondered aloud.
Oh yeah, Jed. As if they never put enough on before shows. Maybe I can
Hairspray?
Said Boba Fett.
Wow.
yeah.
Losing is cool.
So
Grab one.
Fett shouted as the womp rats began to charge.
my
Obediently, he did so.
Old Obadiah was known for his obedience, you see.
Now, cross your spray with mine.
Thought you said never to cross the streams.
What could he
I
be
said
thinking?
never cross the stakes.
Cross your stake with my spray. Could they somehow harm the oncoming womp rats with hot hairspray? Craig did so, however much he doubted it would work. What other choice did he have? As the hairspray crossed the fire, it ignited a dual flamethrower. Of course! He had forgotten that hairspray was flammable. Both rats got a face full of fire. They lost control, and as Craig and Fett dived out of the way, went charging blindly
That's
into
the
the
name of the show, Craig and Fett.
went charging blindly into the back wall. But now they had flaming womp rats on their hands. Also, the one they had kicked earlier was regaining consciousness. Fett and Craig just turned around to face the fiery demons when they heard an awful gnashing of teeth behind them. Craig glanced back and saw yet another pair of womp rats.
The burning rat's attention. I think I've got a plan.
He said confidently. He decided he might as well stop wishing for quick and painless deaths, as they never seemed to come. They started shouting things like,
Hey, over here!
and
What's the matter? What the matter? Not so tough now, huh? What the matter?
Spitfire says Flaming Womp Rat is a pretty popular show on Croissant. The rats oriented on the sound quickly and made ready to charge. Looking once again over his shoulder, Craig saw the others doing the same. Perfect.
Doing the same, looking over their shoulders?
No, they were making ready to charge.
Okay. This
Now
is Craig.
jump. Yeah. Now jump exactly when I tell you so. And it's important that you stay on top of them.
When they were almost upon them, they jumped, and they landed on them, right? I mean, that's... In mid-air, they twisted around to face each other, putting their legs out to the sides. Their feet met with the heads of the womp rats, and there was a sickening cross between a hollow thud and a dead crunch as they landed on the heads of the womp rats. Both rats lay dead under their feet.
It's just like this, like, choreographed, like...
They
Well,
all
he
right.
understood a lot with that. Just jump. You didn't
Yeah.
say how high.
buddy
And then he
comedy.
didn't even tell him to jump.
I also like that they face each other like they're choreographed skiers or something, you know?
Yeah. I imagine them with their hands up. It's hard to describe.
There's that old Saturday Night Live
narrow.
skit where they're like learning to be synchronized swimmers, and it's like,
Oh.
look. Anyway, they stepped off the heads of the womp rats. Unfortunately, the other rat had come to by now. It charged blindly at them. Boba Fett quickly fished out 3 2-inch metal claws. He slipped them on his fingers, one on his thumb, one on his index and ring fingers, and one on his ring and little fingers. Yeah?
They're hollow, apparently.
Wait. One on his index and ring fingers. What about his middle finger? He's got one on his index and ring finger, and one on his ring and little finger.
Right, so like it fits here, and the middle finger just kind of rests in between. See, it's
Yeah, it's so he can still flip things the bird.
right. It's a very intense gear. It's like you were like, people are gonna love this fucking OC gear. As it came to him, he deftly stepped aside with Craig and thrust the claws into the back of its neck. It squealed and fell limp to the ground. Krieg glanced at Boba questioningly and said,
Whoa. Someone's a little demented. Do you always kill people like that? Or is it just your worst enemies?
I haven't used those claws since I killed the 4 assassins.
"Well, I've heard that they weren't really assassins, even though they..." Fett replied.
4 assassins?
And then, since the cave reeked of burning womp rat, they moved outside. Then Boba Fett told Craig his story. Craig woke
See
as
previous chapters.
Yeah.
insert clips
My
here.
helmet comes equipped with a broadband antenna and
Craig woke as the first of Tatooine's twin suns peeked over the horizon. He knew he should get up, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. He rolled over in his bed of sand.
Sorry, Spitfire points out, wasn't that supposed to be a secret because he was framing Bosk? Yes. Yeah.
This is a whole nother... I mean, he's planning on killing this guy. What
I
does he
guess he's
care?
over it.
His wrist
Planning
still
on
hurt.
killing him. Why keep him around?
Well, he's got the good plans. His wrist still hurt from the binders. They had been lucky to have found the keys. Otherwise, they would be stuck together by the wrist right now. That feels like a young Tristan being like, that might have been a better way to go forward with the plot to keep... As it was, he was,
Right.
in a sense, free, but Boba had made it quite clear that if Craig tried to escape, he would come and find him. He disappeared again, Tristan. He also made clear the point that he would not hesitate to break Craig's legs. Despite all this, they had made a temporary truce of friendship. Neither of them tries to kill the other, or else. Boba Fett had not...
Or else Craig
True
dies.
friend.
Friends till the end, or else. Boba Fett had not been quite clear about what the or else actually was, but Craig was, to say the truth, rather... That was very Russian. It feels very Dostoevsky there, to say the truth.
Say the truth.
Were rather impressed by Fett's performance with the Womp Rats last night. Craig heard footsteps coming closer. From the sound of them, whoever was coming was carrying something heavy. Something heavy. That T looks weird there. Possibly be a roast steak? Maybe with a jury
fire
juice or
steak.
two on the side.
Wait a minute. What's Boba Fett doing? Is this gonna work? He's using the flamethrower and the steak shooter at the same time.
Why would he be doing that? What's going to happen?
I like how he's really aiming high with the friendship here. Like, maybe he's bringing me a steak and some juice. Yes, he could smell it now. It was a roast steak. Craig just lay there a while, inhaling the fresh scent of the roast.
Don't you love it?
roast and a steak are different foods.
Maybe not on this planet.
A roast.
But Boba Fett uses
Roast.
both of them as air fresheners in Slave One.
Would you like some
Hanging
roast
from
steak?
the rearview mirror.
Then someone kicked him. He rolled over and opened one eye. Boba Fett stood above him, arms crossed, looking menacing in the early morning.
Wait. Get up.
He said.
Why? Is the steak ready?
Fett stared down at him.
It's Craig again.
Well, is it?
You are insane.
Fett determined.
What?
Get up.
Grumbling, Craig did so. He looked around.
No steak.
Were the first words that jumped into his head. He said this, much to Fett's dismay.
Greg, there is no steak.
There is. You brought it here. I know. I smelled it.
Craig,
Boba stammered.
if you don't shut up about the steak, I'll...
Okay, fine. Whatever.
Craig shouted.
Oh, you're lucky you're worth so much, Spellborn.
Boba snarled. Craig decided to remain silent.
I've found out where we are.
Fett said after a while.
The Jutland Wastes. Very near the old Bounty Hunters Guild.
Steak store.
I know where we are. In fact,
I sense that he's lying, but why? I think he's lying about the steak, but why?
okay. Oh, yeah? I know where we are. In fact, I think we're pretty near Kelsey's place. Come on, let's get a move on.
I know where we are.
Kelsey! Ah!
But then some local assassin shot her in the face while she was out with her damn it, nerfs. Hurting nerfs.
Yeah.
Fett didn't argue, and they set off for Kelsey's homestead. It wasn't a bad trip, aside from the constant hunger that has a way of taking over one's mind. I picture Fett like sneaking bites of steak every now and then. Eventually, however, they made it.
Why are you licking your wrist? No, you said you didn't have any more steak loaded in there.
Kelsey's homestead looked, as far as Craig was concerned, the same as all other homesteads on the whole of the freakish planet. Tan, domed, largely underground, and frankly rather drafty as there weren't any doors. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said it.
Kelsey's...
He dared to go there.
No doors, only
By
when...
the way, Kitty offered to play this character, so
All right.
I guess she does have a line if you want to come out here and do it.
Kelsey's entrance, however, gave away her high payroll. It had no door, but in its place were several strings of expensive beads hung side by side. Oh, okay, that explains the draft. Behind that, there was a sheet of the finest silk in the entire galaxy, meant for, presumably, privacy. Craig stepped up to it. You know what is better about preserving one's privacy? A goddamn door. He noticed
They're
a button.
security beads, though. They protect the silk.
He noticed no stakes are getting through that damn bead thing. He noticed a button on the inside edge of the archway. He pressed it. A bell rung inside. He waited a while and pressed it again. He heard Kelsey's voice from inside mumble,
So you got who's there?
Who's there?
He was about to answer when he realized that if she found out who he was, she would probably never let him in. She hated him. Thus, he simply rang the doorbell again.
All right.
All right.
Came her dreary voice. Shortly after, she parted the curtains, saw who it was, and went back to bed.
Kelsey!
Craig called as he entered the hut. She spun around, glowering at him.
Why are you here?
She demanded. She had obviously been sleeping in since there wasn't another shoot until Friday. They were staring in Agent of Doom 7. She was wearing an expensive silk bathrobe that flowed elegantly over her perfect complexion.
Complexion. Whatever.
I was recently captured by a bounty hunter named Boba Fett.
He said truthfully.
Played here
I
by
have
Boba
just-
Fett.
And I have just spent the night in the desert just after narrowly escaping a cave full of womp rat.
Not much to Craig's surprise, she started laughing, making her shoulder-length blonde hair flounce cutely.
Look at it, flounce!
I almost wish you actually did encounter womp rats. I would love to see that on the Visiocorn. What is that?
Visocom.
Visocom.
Why, that cave would have to be at least 6 meters wide to have multiple womp rats in it. Visocom was an extremely expensive entertainment product that showed movies not only in color, but also in 3D.
Also in Viso.
Wow.
I can just picture the look on your face when...
She broke off as Boba Fett came in.
We'll be needing some food now.
Fett said. Craig sat down in an armchair, looking as smug as ever.
I can't.
I can't cook, damn it! Kelsey stammered.
Get us some food and we'll tell you all about it.
Boba said reasonably. He's so excited to tell his story.
Yeah, I know.
Before I came here, I had to kill these assassins. Let me tell you about it. We set the stage for
Bring
you,
some
all
other
right?
guys for it. Don't tell them.
Apparently, Kelsey was frightened by Fett because she immediately ran off to the kitchen. In a matter of minuets, she came back with 2 bowls of soup. She set them on a card table in the middle of the room. The armchair and sofa were placed around it, so Craig grabbed a bowl and dug in. Then Kelsey left for her room, saying,
That's you.
I'll just go change into something more comfortable.
Boba Fett sat down on the sofa. Suddenly, Craig realized that he had never actually seen Fett's face before. He wondered if anyone had ever seen his face. Fett sat down and took off his helmet. He wasn't homely, but he wasn't exactly handsome either. He was just some guy, as forgettable in appearance as any. Boba must have seen him staring because he smiled and said,
Yes, Craig, you're the first to see.
They ate the
I'm sorry, that's not canon.
This helmet.
They ate the rest of the soup in silence, then lay down to rest. The previous night hadn't been very refreshing.
End of chapter 4. Yay, thank you, Kitty.
I'm great.
And I'm gone again.
Oh,
I'm back. Yay. Okay. All right, yeah, that was a little more than halfway, so we're going to switch over to go back to Arendelle. Let me readjust my mic. See what Venom and Spider-Man and Iron Man are up to.
Are we at chapter 14? Is that right?
I'm not sure.
You can do the little exclamation point thing, right?
Yeah, I don't think I remembered to update it, so it could be 13 or 14. We'll find out.
It's like this fight takes like 17 Okay, yeah, we've definitely read 13 because that's got that line, I'll take my science over your sorcery any day.
Okay.
Have we
It
read
also has the line, it was then that the long overdue battle between Venom and Spider-Man continued.
Okay, so I think 14 must be right then.
Yeah, 14. And let me... So I'm just going to do a post plus. And I'm gonna hide Quest of a Lifetime. And I'm gonna...
I finally found the quest
There we
of
go.
a lifetime. All right, are we?
Okay, yeah, I'll just leave you up there. And then we need our drinking game. Oh, why don't we have... I only have just stared. That's not right. Oh, it's probably on the illustration. Okay, hold on. I'm going to floop things around for a second. It was then copy...
Kitty says, put on your Visiocorn now.
Paste reference. There we go. Up to 45. We remember last chapter we got like 9 of these.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. All right.
It was then, that was when. Put on your Visiocorns now. Okay.
All right, we good?
Let's go. Yeah.
So if Anna or Elsa show up, we're going to have to, since Quinn's not here, we'll have to get those filled in.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Kitty could do those if...
All right.
Hold on.
if it comes
Hold
to
on.
Okay.
What?
Tracy asked for us to hold on.
If we need another voice, I'll just take the. Kitty, take the first one that comes up, so that I have one more time.
Okay.
Can I get some headphones? I'll split her.
Oh, God, you give her an inch and she takes a mile.
But yeah,
It'll be a while. So. Spider-Man and Iron Man stood back to back, fending off their 3 attackers. Despite their great skill and powers, they were simply overwhelmed. It seemed when they repelled one attacker, 2 more took his place. Iron Man threw a punch that collided with Carnage, sending him flying backward as Serpentine went on the attack against Spider-Man. After delivering several lightning-fast punches to the hero, Spider-Man finally knocked Serpentine off balance.
Straight to the hero.
What?
Straight to the hero.
Yeah, that's that was only revealed in Karate Kid 3. Spider-Man finally knocked Serpentine off balance using a low kick and web slung him across the room. However, Tyrannus took that opportunity to make his move. Closing in on the heroes, he raised his staff overhead as a strange energy flowed through it. He then brought the end of the staff down onto the ground at full force, creating an energy attack that sent the heroes flying backward and colliding into a nearby wall. They quickly rolled back onto their feet and resumed a fighting stance. Iron Man raised one of his metal arms, preparing to fire a salvo of rockets as the 3 villains closed in on them. Serpentine and Carnage were at the front, while Tyrannus was a few steps behind them. Once he strolled up behind his minions, he commanded...
Okay, we were doing really deep voice for Tyrannus. Finish them off.
Finish him. Serpentine and Carnage were about to leap forward when something wrapped around both of their necks and jerked them to the ground and onto their backs. Tyrannus quickly turned around to find Venom approaching them, saying...
You wanted to dance with the devil? Well, here I am.
You ever dance with the devil? Well, here I am. Carnage and Serpentine freed themselves from the webs as Tyrannus said...
As Tyrannus said... Wait. Yeah, okay.
You fool. I've given you the gift of vengeance and the opportunity to kill Spider-Man, but you chose the Queen instead.
An evil smile broke across Venom's face as he replied...
Is that how you spell vengeance?
That is how you spell vengeance.
Okay, well, stand by my pronunciation.
I was like, you're having fun. Just go for it, you know? Okay, Venom replies... Venom?
I'm just trying to adjust my mic so we
Oh,
can
okay,
point
okay.
at both of us.
It's you, Tristan.
We still plan on killing Spider-Man, but when the chance comes, we will, was killing Spider-Man, but when the chance comes, we will do it of our own accord. Not because I was made to by some cheap conjurer of tricks.
Rage.
We're gonna run him over with their
Called
accord.
illusions, Michael.
Rage. Oh, it'd take like 18 times back and forth then. Rage filled Tyrannus' eyes when Venom insulted him. He quickly calmed himself and said,
Okay. He quickly muttered to himself, water off a duck's back, water off a duck's back.
So be it. You and your Snow Queen shall die together.
Tyrannus then gathered a huge ball of energy to kill the symbiote.
Just from around. Let me just sweep up some energy.
I've
out
been
a
saving
collection
this
plate
up
for
all day. He pulls it out from his pocket.
At the-
Picks
the-
off the lint.
just shrugs out a handkerchief. At this point, Elsa, Anna, and Kristoff managed to find a safe spot to observe the battle. As Elsa saw Tyrannus prepare one of his energy attacks, panic shot through her, for she remembered what those energy balls were capable of doing. Much to everyone's shock, Venom stood still waiting on the Dark Lord to make his move. This particular energy ball was by far larger than the one Tyrannus tried to hit Eddie and Elsa with earlier.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
About the balls?
Who's Tyrannus?
The guy that we thought was probably Skeletor.
Yeah. But he might
He's
also...
a skull-faced guy. He has a skull on his face, but it's a whole skull
Right.
Yeah.
And does,
for a face.
Oh, okay. I gotta draw this guy.
and is
Yeah.
And aren't there eyes behind his skull as well?
I don't know if that was specified.
I think last chapter we found out that he had a face beneath the skull, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so he is totally ripped off from Skeletor.
The way that they phrased it though did not make it sound like Skeletor. It made it sound ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember the skull teeth now.
Yeah.
Skull tooth.
But just to be clear, from here on out, we will only take questions relating to Tyrannus's balls.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now the big balls
Which are
have more
also
energy.
skulls.
The Queen could only imagine what it would do to Eddie should it hit him. Suddenly, Tyrannus launched the energy attack forward, sending it flying towards Venom. Elsa screamed as it approached its target.
Eddie, no!
However, what happened next shocked everyone, even Tyrannus. When the attack was only inches away, Venom flung his arm in front of him, knocking the ball of energy away from him. The energy attack flew to the other side of the chamber and totally obliterated the section of the wall it hit. Everyone gasped with shock as debris and bricks went flying everywhere. Spider-Man shook his head in disbelief and exclaimed,
He's gotten even stronger, if that's possible.
Tyrannus screamed in frustration and shot 3 more energy balls at Venom. But how big were they in relation to the last ball?
3 more energy balls.
As the supercharged attacks approached their target, they were met with the same result. Venom effortlessly deflected the energy balls and sent them across the chamber, safely exploding far away. Venom knows how to handle balls, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Kristoff,
Get energy.
Just
and
fling an
get it
arm
away.
out.
That's what I heard.
I'm stealing from Futurama, but the headlines tomorrow are going to be Balls Thoroughly Licked. Kristoff smiled and smarted off to the Dark Lord.
Smarted off.
Smart off. You haven't heard that? You're not cultured enough.
Give the Dark Lord the business.
Tracy, you're Kristoff.
I don't know what's going on. You want to feed me the lines? Am I heavily in this
You're
one?
screwed now, buddy!
To which Tyrannus sneered at him. He suddenly thrust his staff forward, shooting an inferno attack at the symbiote. A few seconds later, Tyrannus stopped his attack and eagerly looked to see if he killed his enemy. The smoke eventually cleared as a voice mocked,
You missed!
Suddenly, Venom emerged.
Was that Venom?
I think that's
It was a
Venom.
voice.
Just a voice.
Just a voice.
I'm walking here! You missed!
That would be funny if it was Kristoff. Like, Kristoff suddenly enters the fight, you know? Suddenly, Venom emerged from the smoke and quickly web-grabbed Tyrannus' staff. Then, with lightning speed, he broke the mystical weapon across his knee and threw the pieces to the ground. I feel like he got an editor for this chapter. Like, it's still, like, goofy, but it's much better, like, grammatically, you know? The Dark Lord stumbled back in complete shock as he tried backing away from Venom.
Or maybe we're just used to my writing now.
No, but it's... No.
Spitfire says, but does he shoot any stake at him?
Different universe.
What are you?
Tyrannus managed to say as he quickly went behind Carnage and Serpentine. Venom
We're
took
Star Fox.
Different universe, though. I guess they are both part of the Marvel continuity now, right? Venom took a few more steps forward and answered,
Okay. We are the reason why you should be afraid of the dark.
Edward Carnby comes in.
Actually, we are perfection.
we are the one who knocks. Eddie Brock made his own face appear in time for his next and final sentence.
I am Venom!
Buy my action figures now at your local toy store. It was then... The symbiote covered his face again as he leapt into battle. Thankfully, Spider-Man and Iron Man jumped into the fray as well. Before Venom could make his way to finish off Tyrannus, Carnage intercepted him and said...
Sorry, I lost it.
Let's see who the superior symbiote is once and for all.
After saying that... I feel
close.
like... Yeah, I
close.
feel real close. After saying that, Carnage formed his right hand into a whip and attempted to use it. However, Venom deflected it and used his symbiote to stretch his arm and decked Carnage.
That's an action where you can really see him like rolling for a hit. I form my hand into a whip and attempt to use it.
After he knocked...
Dexterity.
After he knocked Carnage on his back, Venom mocked,
Goodbye.
Hold on. God, this is annoying.
So really it was a lie earlier when it said that it like Eddie spoke his final sentence.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Up to that
along the
point.
lines of, and then they just looked at him, and then dialogue started.
Venom just stared at him. Come on. Did you really
Old Dan
think that
Tucker
you
just
had...
stood there looking. Sorry, old Dan Tucker reference.
Come on. Did you really think that you had all of the good powers?
I can make a fist apparently. Like that's not really an As his arm learned that one from Mr. Fantastic. As his arm went back to place, he quickly picked up Carnage and rammed him through a set of pillars in the chamber. He continued holding on to him as he ran along the side of the pillars while continuing to run Carnage through them.
If you'll remember from the last time, we determined this must have been the pillar storage chamber.
Oh yeah,
Right,
so many
right.
For the
pillars.
amount of pillars that we've already destroyed, and he can still run along a... Wait, he's... Yeah, there's like a row of pillars, and he's running Carnage through each one.
Right.
None are load bearing. None
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
Right. No, they're just all laid about haphazardly in the pillar storage room.
It's like a Stonehenge of pillars. It's not attached to the ceiling. They're just kind of scattered.
They're
Right.
actually just rentals for proms and things.
That's right.
So they're like foam.
As he maybe ice. As he reached the end of the line, he hurled the evil symbiote across the chamber. When Carnage made impact, he rolled across the ground violently. I want to roll violently. However, before he stopped rolling, Venom was already there. He quickly web-grabbed Carnage and slung him into the air, then slammed him into the ground with blinding force. Wham! Venom attempted to continue his attack, but when he descended on him, Carnage countered the assault. Oh my god, he is so bad at writing fighting. It's like every sentence is exactly the same, basically. Grabbing Venom by the throat, Carnage formed his sledgehammer and knocked him in the head with it one good time. However, when he
I'll
tried
have a good
delivering
bonk sound effect.
it's the same goddamn thing. However, when he tried delivering a second blow, Venom blocked the attack and punched him. Carnage managed to break Venom's hold on him and escape. As he retreated across the chamber, Venom was still on his tail. Reaching a nearby wall, Carnage quickly formed his claws and attempted to swipe Venom with them. He managed to get a few licks on Venom as the symbiote roared in anguish from the cuts. It was then, ding, Carnage formed a blade hand and attempted to slice Venom. However, his enemy anticipated the move. Grabbing the blade hand, Venom quickly lifted Carnage up and began slamming him into the wall repeatedly with terrifying force. Bang! 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 The symbiote caused the ever-growing indention in the wall to expand with each bang! Whatever merciful side Eddie Brock had was dead and gone, if only for the moment as he continued his malicious attack on Carnage. Kristoff, Anna, and most importantly, Elsa watched in stunned silence as Venom mercilessly caused a great deal of harm to Carnage.
He's harming him.
A few more bangs went by before Venom body slammed the other symbiote to the ground. As Carnage lied on the ground... All right, that one's tough. I'll give him that one. Magna cum laude. As Carnage lied on the ground, Venom took that opportunity to yell up to Iron Man, who was free at the moment. Oh, he's just free at the moment, just not doing anything.
Yeah, sitting there drinking tea.
We got a couple minutes.
Want to test out your shooting skills?
After that, he snatched up Carnage and did the unthinkable. He mustered every bit of his strength and began pulling the Carnage symbiote off of Cletus Cassidy. The symbiote began shrilling its high-pitched noise as Venom continued to peel it off of the psychotic killer. Cletus began screaming violently at Venom.
Ah, you prick!
Finally, Venom managed to completely peel the symbiote off of Carnage and threw it up in the air. Cletus screamed in horror as Iron Man produced his arm cannon and blasted the symbiote in midair. And he wasn't busy. Enraged at what just happened, the psychotic killer produced a knife and attempted to rush Venom with it.
What did he whittle it?
Just had one sticking in his pants this whole time, I guess.
You killed my symbiote, you mother!
Before he could finish speaking, Venom turned around and grabbed him by the throat with one hand.
Well timed.
Eddie Brock made his own face appear as he looked in. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Eddie Brock made his own face appear as he looked his enemy in the eyes and said,
"Say goodnight."
Then the symbiote covered his face again right before he snapped Cletus Cassidy's neck, killing him instantly. Venom roared in victory as he carelessly tossed the body aside and turned his attention to Tyrannus and Serpentine. Whatever humanity Eddie Brock possessed had taken the sidelines as his primal side was in complete control. However, the love he had for Elsa was alive and well, for protecting her was his true motivation. The sound of Cassidy's neck cracking echoed throughout the chamber as everyone, including Serpentine and Tyrannus, turned around.
Some celery.
Including Serpentine and Tyrannus turned around in time to see Venom throw away the dead body. As the symbiote approached them, another evil smile crossed his face while he said,
"You have no idea how long I've waited to do that."
I just picture them like, oh my god, we were just fooling. Jesus, man. As the rage fueled the fires in his eyes and mouth, Tyrannus shouted,
"You're right behind him, symbiote."
Sorry, I read that wrong.
"You'll be right behind him, symbiote."
As he and Serpentine got into a fighting stance, he added,
That picks up really loud on the, just so you know. Yeah, good.
Give her an inch, goddammit.
Carnage was an expendable asset. He can be easily replaced. You won't be.
It was on that note. Does that count?
That's
Yeah, I wonder.
really close.
It's like a
I'm
cousin.
gonna say yes.
It was on that note the battle continued. Thankfully, Spider-Man and Iron Man jumped back into the fight as well. Oh good, they're off their break now. The fight was beginning to turn in their favor as the villains were outnumbered and outmaneuvered.
Union.
Yeah, that's right.
Spidey, punch me back in.
As Spider-Man and Iron Man backed Serpentine and Tyrannus up against the wall, neither villain noticed Venom descend on them until it was too late. The symbiote brought both of his fists down on their heads at full force, knocking them into a daze. He then quickly kicked Tyrannus out of the way as he grabbed and threw Serpentine.
It's like kind of a confusing action. Yeah, I know. I was just trying to make sense of that sentence. Spitfire says, a lot of rubbernecking in this fight. A lot of standing around.
You're next, Snake Boy.
He mocked as he approached Serpentine. The reptilian menace attempted to... It's just that guy. The reptilian menace attempted to rush Venom at full speed, but the symbiote caught him and laughed. It was then... Serpentine extended his fangs and bit Venom on the shoulder. Man, this chapter starting to pick up here.
Yeah.
Dropping Serpentine. Venom grabbed and held onto his shoulder as he staggered back looking shocked. But then he smiled and stood back up as he put his hand down, saying...
Just kidding.
Okay, so he's kidding about being poisoned, I guess. Is that... Yeah, okay.
I don't know what's going on.
I faked being poisoned.
An angered Serpentine hissed at him as the symbiote said...
Come on, my name is Venom. What made you think your snake bite would hurt me?
Right after he said that, oh man, that's so close. Right after he said that, Venom web grabbed Serpentine and slung him across the chamber. I love how he doesn't really understand how slung works. However, Serpentine used his superhuman
Like
agility.
in a hammock.
Right. However, Serpentine used his superhuman agility to catch his balance and go back on the attack. He leapt high into the air and landed on Venom's back as he began hitting him really fast.
So fast, guys.
He leapt high into the air and landed on Venom's back as he began hitting him really fast. Elsa couldn't take it anymore as she watched Serpentine attack Venom. Running towards the battle, Anna said,
Elsa, no!
to which the Snow Queen replied,
I can help him, Anna. Trust me.
Realizing what she intended to do, Kristoff asked,
What if you miss again?
to which Elsa answered confidently,
I won't.
riveting dialogue. She then ran up to the two...
Give it my all.
What if you miss?
I won't. All right, see,
Sorry,
okay.
I didn't do those well enough.
Guess you got that covered then.
No,
all right.
you inspired me. That's all. It wasn't at all that I was doing it because you failed so badly.
He's going to be quoting that in the cafeteria for like the next 6 lunches.
And then she was like, I won't. She then ran up to the two monsters as Venom attempted to reach behind him to grab Serpentine. As he looked over and saw Elsa prepare one of her ice attacks, he reached for his enemy with renewed determination. Venom was finally able to rip him off as he threw... What? Okay.
I'm gonna have a fork-shaped tongue.
You gave me a 5 and I gave you back 3, and now I got 2. You're anyway. Venom was finally able to rip him off as he threw Serpentine and shouted to Elsa,
Now!
The Queen immediately fired her attack and hit Serpentine on both of his legs, freezing them solid. The villain crashed to the ground while screaming from the pain of the attack. Serpentine continued holding on to his frozen legs while in the fetal position until he saw Venom coming towards him. He tried to crawl away. Oh, I really hope he just bites his head off. He tried to crawl away, but he wasn't fast enough as the symbiote closed in on him. Standing over him, Venom smiled as he kicked him in the ribs, knocking Serpentine on his back. As Serpentine glared up at Venom, the symbiote said,
I want you to watch this reptile man. Somebody keep an eye on this reptile man.
or I picture him like taking out a small reptile man. It's like, I taught him to dance.
Come on, do it. Hello, my baby. Hello, my daughter. Oh, he won't do it for anybody.
Then, with all of his might, Venom kicked the ice legs, shattering them completely.
Oh my god.
Prince Hans appeared in his human form as he let loose a blood-curdling scream. He tried crawling away again as he reached his hand out to Tyrannus, who was across the chamber, and pleaded to him.
Dad, actually, you were.
Oh, that's him? I thought he was dead.
Master, help me, please!
At this point, Iron Man happened to launch a rocket that exploded next to the Dark Lord, causing him to soar across the room and land near Hans. Tyrannus then
just
rose.
happened to.
Sorry, I was just launching a rocket.
Sorry, I haven't put that button yet. I just want to see what it does.
Tyrannus then rose back to his feet and began laughing as the heroes approached him. Not liking a sudden outburst, Spider-Man asked,
What's so funny?
to which the Dark Master answered,
You may have defeated my minions, but the battle is just beginning.
"Oh God." He then walked up. He then walked up to Hans and said,
He just walks up to Hans.
I mean, he landed close to him, right? But isn't Hans dead by now? I mean, I would think
on the
Hans had
floor.
bled out at this point.
It's time to show them our little trick.
Gonna puppeteer him.
5, 6, 7, 8.
All of a sudden, Hans began laughing softly despite being in a great deal of pain. Looking up to Tyrannus, he answered,
Do your will on me, master.
and then some Barry White kicked in. All of a sudden, the Dark Lord leaned over his servant and opened his mouth.
Whoa.
What happened next? I see a popsicle. What happened next shocked everyone beyond words. Tyrannus's
They're probably
mouth.
going to talk anyway.
I mean, it's. Wasn't that what they said the last
Your
time?
words, narrator?
Tyrannus's mouth began to expand and open wider as Hans's body levitated off of the floor.
Did anybody see that Artemis Fowl movie?
No.
Oh, they made
Well,
one?
Yeah, it did not do well.
I did not know that.
What's the name of the guy who voices Olaf? Something.
Jim Carrey.
Gad?
It's not Jim Carrey.
No.
But yeah, the bad guy was Kirby the whole time. That's what I'm referring to. I've heard.
Josh Gad.
It's like Gad. Yeah, Josh Gad does the whole huge mouth thing. So that was probably neat. If anybody saw it.
So it was a long walk, but apparently we're somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Tyrannus is doing the Kirby right now.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Wario, if you want to think about it that way. Go ahead.
At first,
Wario.
At first, his body slowly floated to, or like for any Vor fans out there, here you go. Glad to make you happy. At first, his body slowly floated towards his master until something terrifying happened. Tyrannus began sucking him into his mouth at full speed.
Full speed.
Delete.
Full speed suck ahead.
and swallowed him whole. Okay. After consuming Prince Hans,
Then he pressed down, and he got a fork-shaped tongue.
After consuming Prince Hans, Tyrannus began howling with laughter as his body became engulfed with blue flames. At this point, Kristoff and Anna made their way to join the rest of the group as Tyrannus looked up to everyone and taunted,
Now you shall see my true form.
His body began. This isn't even my final form. His body began to morph and grow rapidly as he continued laughing manically. Before
Hold
they,
on.
Well, yeah, this is the
his
end
true form.
yeah,
The form that's at the core of him requires him to eat Hans?
yep.
Okay.
What part don't you understand?
I've been waiting for this my entire
All right.
life.
Sure.
Even though they're from different like realms or whatever, yeah, makes total sense.
It's in the future and or in the past.
You just have to sacrifice 1 minion.
Oh, yeah, maybe he's the
Well,
future.
most of a minion.
Maybe he's an alternate version of Hans, and this is like a Highlander moment. Before they could see before they could see the rest of the transformation, a great smoke cloud emerged, blocking their view of Tyrannus. A few moments. It's a typical magician's trick. A few moments went by before the smoke cleared, allowing everyone to see.
He was a helicopter.
Everyone eagerly scanned the room, looking for the Dark Lord and dreading to see his new form. However, no one was there.
That's great, honestly.
So
This is
while
my
he
true
transformed,
form.
everybody just left.
Yeah.
Distantly, you hear like tap, 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 tap. Car door opens, closes.
Where'd he go?
Spider-Man asked aloud, to which Venom answered,
He's still here. He's playing with us.
Just after he said that, the ground began shaking violently as everyone stumbled and tried to regain their balance. The earthquake only got worse until a terrifying creature emerged from the earth roaring. Once they saw him, the group knew exactly who it was. Tyrannus. The Dark Lord had taken the form of a
They put
400...
2 and 2 together.
Who is this? The Dark Lord had taken the form of a 400-foot serpent with fiery blue eyes and was completely skeletal. However, instead of his typical human bones that Tyrannus was normally made up of...
Snake bones?
Oh, well, yeah, snake bones, probably.
That does seem to track, yeah.
I was going to say he's totally ripping off of Aladdin now.
Yes,
but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking that. Yeah. He's Jafar.
But no, he's a skeletal snake
His new
with special bones.
his new
My
skeleton.
special bones.
I haven't seen Aladdin in so long. All I remember is just, Robin Williams being like, huh? Is this enough for my contract? How about if I do this? Oh, here's another impersonation. Oh my God, I can't take these things anymore. Anyway, it's sad to make the suicide joke now, but like that's what it sounded like at the time, a desperate cry for help. It was like Disney's A Desperate Cry for Help, starring Robin Williams.
I think it was mostly cocaine.
Yeah.
You say tomato, I say tomato. His new skeleton was pure crystal with spikes coming from the crest of his head. The serpent was also capable of breathing fire as it shot out a raging inferno into the air. Now, I like that it shows off a little first, It doesn't immediately try to burn them. It's just like, check this shit out.
Yes, and in true form, everybody stands and watches.
Exhaling the fire onto others.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
What was that?
She's asking because it's capable of breathing fire. Is that like in and out? Or mostly just out?
Yeah, I think
So we'll never drown
Generally,
in the
it's
fire.
out.
not even
Fire.
not even
Drowning.
not even flinching. Eddie made his own face appear as he said,
Elsa, Anna, Kristoff, y'all might want to sit this one out.
Gulp.
We don't get
Very
nothing.
much like a
No.
Borderlands boss. You're right.
Coming up next on Disney Channel.
we don't have a lot of time left. So
Yeah, I know.
what do you think? Can we get through a spirit chapter pretty quickly?
Oh, this is long.
No.
This is long. Yeah. Spirits. Right. Yeah. What was that one we started? Did have chapters, didn't it?
A Miradero Mystery.
Okay. Let me find that. Don't look. I guess it's not showing a password or anything, but.
Hey, Tristan,
What?
is my drawing on?
No, you're drawing?
Yes.
You gotta announce these things, man.
He did. He said, "Oh, I got to draw that guy with the skull face."
Yeah, that could have
Yeah, but
implied.
he didn't
just
say I'm
a
going to do
fully
it right
formed
now.
Yeah, he didn't say
hanging
it
in
was
front of his
then
face.
that I decided to draw the skull face.
Oh yeah. That's what.
Exactly. Okay.
You're doing too many things, bro.
I know. I gotta switch. Watch stream. Okay. Wow.
Hello.
Yeah, that's a cool skull face.
Look at that skull
I
face
gotta put
boy.
that on the screen. There
Okay,
he
Joey.
is. I gotta put that on the screen there.
Wow, that actually, like, all of our jokes kind of feel dumb now, because that actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. With his skull teeth and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. I need to make like a little shine on his big nose, and I think
Want me to
that'll
get Mommy?
destroy that.
Okay, I'll get mommy. Get back in
Okay.
How long is this one?
It's probably short.
Yeah, I mean, this one, it's not that long, and it's a lot of dialogue. So as long as everybody can,
So to
I'm
recap,
actually
this is
ducking out now. So bye all.
Oh, okay.
my
See ya next week. Then.
maybe it is too long because there is like a song in it. Shit, maybe we should just end it.
We can
whole song
fast
in there?
rap. We can fast rap the song.
Oh, that's a tiny song. Okay, we'll do this one. It's fine.
We'll have
If we go over, we go over. The pals.
We'll do
the
it
pals,
live.
which stands for Prue, Abigail, and
Larissa,
Loretta. Yeah.
Lyman.
Libby.
Okay, Libby.
Lisa.
I
Lisa.
can't remember which one I was.
It's Liza with a Z,
I
not
don't
Lisa with an
either.
S.
All right.
Yeah.
There's also a Lucky.
Lisa with an S, because I don't remember any of the rest of it.
Because Liza with an S spells Lisa.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. He's no longer Stallion of the Cimarron. He's just a regular old horse.
A regular old horse, you say?
Yeah. This is the legend of the regular old horse. They found an unconscious girl within a herd, and they want to know who she is, along with where that singing is coming from, and why are the wild Mustangs acting funny. Will they find out? This author doesn't own Spirit Riding free, only their OC. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Also, Smoke, the horse, is staring ominously through a window. I actually have fan art of that, but... Oh, now you're not going to draw?
I thought I'm in this.
Oh, okay.
This is Tracy's baby. He found it.
Well,
Okay.
well,
Do you want to be on screen then?
let me. I gotta find the damn thing.
I'll just put Michael on.
Oh, Stand by Bradley.
The L is for Liam Neeson. Thank you, Spitfire. Couldn't think of it. Yeah, let's dive into it. I don't remember any of our voices or anything, but
Chapter 2. Waking up. It was early morning in the
exclamation point.
It was early morning in the Prescott house, and in the guest room, the mystery girl was breathing hard. Uh-oh. She was also tossing and turning in her sleep as she was having another nightmare about what had happened to her.
Who's this?
It's in italics for a while here. Are we in the nightmare now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to see the new exhibit.
The girl said happily she was on a class trip.
Stick together now.
The teacher told them. The class went to see the new Wild West exhibit, and the mystery girl was excited.
Must be like home for you.
A boy said to the girl, Everyone was chatting happily about what it was like during the times of cowboys living in the Wild West, like in Miradero back then. Suddenly, the
Okay. This is an OC that has been transported, like either back in time or into the universe of her favorite show, Spirit.
Got it.
Riding Free.
Makes sense. Suddenly, the lights went out and the alarm started going off.
What's happening?
The girl asked in fear. Everyone was scared. The teacher tried to calm the kids' fears, but soon they heard shooting.
Everyone, we have to go!
The teacher told her students. They ran from the Wild West exhibit. Now we capitalize Wild West. They ran from the Wild West exhibit as the
Westworld?
Is
that what's going on?
It's or is it the Wild West? Exhibit as the shooting got close
into the Wild West.
In the Wild West, in the Wild. Got closer, but one boy tripped, so the girl ran back to help him back up.
It's getting closer.
The boy said in fear. The girl looked up and saw a man.
Get out of here!
The girl told the boy. She pushed him. The man took out his gun and aimed it at the boy and girl.
Both?
Oh no. They were like...
It's like a shaking gun hand.
She pushed him closer.
Nighty night, kiddies.
The man said with an evil glint in his eyes and a smirk.
Not happening!
The girl shouted in anger. She pushed the boy into the next room, but sadly, BAM! The man let loose another bullet. The girl's head had been grazed by it, and that was enough to put her in a daze.
Yeah.
Libby! Libby?
The boy's scared voice rang out. She fell to her knees. The nightmare ended as the girl, now known as Libby, bolted up, then promptly fell out of the bed. Thud! She'd landed on her head, which hurt.
That was bad.
Libby whispered to herself. She then looked around the room.
Am I in my room? How did I get here?
Libby thought in confusion. Just then the door opened.
You're awake!
A soft voice said happily. Libby looked up and saw a girl her age standing in the doorway smiling.
Hi.
Libby said shyly. The girl smiled.
Fortuna Prescott, but everyone calls me Lucky.
Lucky told Libby. She smiled a little ill lucky.
My name is Libby.
Libby replied shyly. Lucky then helped Libby up and explained what happened yesterday, which shocked Libby greatly. Just then, a man's voice called Lucky down for breakfast.
We'd better go.
Lucky said to Libby. She followed closely behind Lucky as she was nervous. Thought she was Libby. As they went downstairs, Libby noticed that Lucky looked like her, only with beautiful green eyes, while Libby
Lucky
had
looked like
sparkling...
Libby, but Libby looked like Lucky. Lucky looked like Libby's...
While Libby had sparkling blue eyes.
Lemon lollipops.
Once the girls made to the dining room, Libby hid behind Lucky.
No, it's Lily Leopard.
Is everything okay?
Jim asked her. Lucky happily smiled back at him.
To introduce you three to Libby.
Lucky said happily. Her family was confused.
Libby?
Kate asked her. Libby slowly came out.
Hello.
Libby greeted shyly. Jim and Kate smiled in relief since they had been worried.
It's nice to meet you, Libby.
Kate said with a smile. Lucky introduced Libby to her dad, stepmom, and baby sister Polly.
It's nice to meet you all.
Libby said sincerely. She was a little nervous. Soon
Something happened.
Soon the five settled down and ate This is the OC saying hi to everybody in the world. This is so fucking exciting, all right?
They're about to have breakfast. Keep reading.
What are they
Come
having?
here for the meals.
Soon the five settled down and ate breakfast.
Where did one sit?
Can Libby come with me to meet Prue and Abigail?
Lucky asked her parents. They thought about it.
I suppose that would be all right.
Jim replied to Lucky. The girl smiled.
somewhat monotonous.
Just be
but,
careful, not get hurt.
Kate told them. Lucky and Libby agreed to that. After eating, the girls went to get... Oh, after eating, the girls went to get dressed. Kate told Libby that her clothes had been washed so she could wear them again today, which was good news. Lucky saw that Libby was wearing a white shirt with a red heart on it, blue pants and boots similar to hers, but they were black with blue flames instead.
Do you think she's drawn this somewhere on the internet?
Let's hope so. Also, so like she's just wearing dirty underwear? That seems... Or is she going commando?
Do you like horses?
Lucky asked Libby, her eyes lit up.
I love horses.
Libby replied happily. This made Lucky happy since they'd be at the Ramada. What? Is the Ramada known for having horses there? Soon,
I don't know.
Soon, Lucky and Libby were outside where a wild stallion was waiting.
This is Spirit, and he's a wild Mustang.
Lucky told Libby she was in awe of him. Lucky told Libby how she and Spirit formed a bond of friendship.
Spitfire says Lucky and Libby are just two skins of the same character. I think
that's yeah. They're palette swaps.
Yeah.
Come on, this is the best line of the whole chapter.
Yeah.
You're so lucky, Lucky.
Libby said sweetly. She and Lucky giggled at the pun she'd made. It was not a pun.
You're so liberal, Libby.
Spirit could tell that Libby was a good human, just like his girl, so he allowed her to ride on him with Lucky since they were getting along nicely with each other. I thought it was Lucky who thought that, not Spirit, and so good human seemed really weird. After a few minutes, the girls add Spirit made to Prue's house where she and Abigail were waiting for them.
We don't have an Abigail yet. I don't remember which one that is.
Abigail's like an airhead, kind of, but like totally innocent, naive airhead.
You down for that?
Sure.
Okay.
She's
awake.
Abigail,
that's good.
Abigail shouted happily. Prue looked to see Lucky and the mystery girl standing together.
I think that's me. I see that.
Prue replied with a smile. She and Abigail introduced themselves to the girl.
I'm Libby. Nice to meet you.
Libby replied shyly. The girls talked and were happy to learn that Libby was interested in the same things as they were.
If we're going riding today, you'll need a horse. I'm sorry, was that too good?
Such judgment in that for some reason. Abigail told Libby she was thankful to be included.
You're thankful to be included. Yeah. I don't have a horse, though.
Libby replied sadly.
Isn't that sad and poor of you?
Prue got an idea, then went to ask her dad something and came back smiling.
Sir. Dad said you could choose a horse to have.
Prue told Libby she smiled.
Any horse in this bin.
Any horse in any of the rooms at the Ramada. Yeah. The four girls
comes with the room. It's a nice place.
The four girls went into the barn, saw tons of new horses, but one mare in particular caught Libby's eye.
Is that a Shagya Arabian mare?
Libby asked Prue. No, that's a Honda Accord, idiot.
Yeah, she is.
Prue answered. She was impressed as Libby went up to the pure black mare with blue highlights.
She's beautiful.
Libby said, and ah.
Who wants to be Al?
She's yours.
Al's voice rang out. The girls looked at him.
She's been tough to break, but seems that she liked you.
Al told Libby. She smiled happily. Libby thanked him before he left.
Oh,
What are you
goodbye.
gonna name her?
Goodbye, I guess.
Abigail asked Libby if she petted her new horse.
Oh, Abigail, yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, yeah, I'll do it way more judgmental. What are you gonna name her?
Abigail asked Libby if she petted her new horse.
Storm Dancer.
Libby answered her. The newly dubbed Storm Dancer whinnied happily.
She loves it.
Lucky said with a laugh. Libby, Prue, and Abigail laughed with her since it was true.
Time for that ride.
Prue announced cheerfully. She and Abigail got Chica Linda and Boomerang ready while Lucky and Libby got on Spirit and Storm Dancer. Spirit was happy to have another wild horse in the group because he could relate to her. And Storm Dancer was happy to have some new friends by her side. The pals showed Libby and Storm Dancer around town so they wouldn't get lost, even if it was a small town, but it made the new friends happy nonetheless.
Oh, a snobby voice.
Now we have a snobby voice, yeah. Another one?
A snobby voice called out. The four girls stopped.
Who's that?
Libby asked Prue. She frowned at the red-headed girl who was looking at them.
Maricela?
Prue.
She's the mayor's... Maricela.
Maricela.
That's Maricela. She's the mayor's daughter and a total snob.
Prue answered. Maricela circled Libby and Storm Dancer. She sized them up for some reason.
I see another girl who loves riding these filthy horses.
Maricela said, with a sneer. Libby blinked, then glared at the redhead, which surprised her for a moment.
It's the redhead. It's like the black. It's like the black spot.
So the snob doesn't like riding horses?
No.
It's a very topsy-turvy world here.
This is true. Maricela does not ride horses. She rides a bicycle as fast as horses. They go on horse rides, and she rides alongside them. On
My bicycle doesn't poop everywhere.
Or
no, she's nice. She wants to be a part of their group. They're just like very judgmental about her.
What are we going to be then? The Palms? We can't be the Palms, Maricela.
That's the joke. She always says, "Oh, Palms," and they're like, "You're not part of it. We hate you."
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
Why aren't I writing children's television? That's the question.
Yeah.
Begs to be answered.
Spitfire says, so they found this girl unconscious in the desert, but so far nobody has asked, hey, who are you? Why were you passed out surrounded by horses?
Why do you look like me except with different eye color? Where are your parents?
So who's the real
great
snob?
questions.
Exactly.
She's like Neil Breen. They just found her in the desert and started worshiping her.
Yeah. My name's Light. Or no, Till. Sorry. I spoiled it. Sorry, spoilers.
Which, if anyone hasn't watched my music video I made from that movie, then you really should go see it now.
Yeah, go ahead, plug it in the chat.
I'll see if I can.
We'll start showing it.
Put it in the Discord.
before streams.
There you go.
Okay. What's wrong with riding horses?
Jesus, like I literally search it and it's like I'm still like the 7th one down. Like,
oh, I know.
Okay, wait, I gotta find the Libby asked her. This made Maricela list a number of reasons why it was bad.
Oh. So, you're a chicken?
Libby asked with a smirk. Maricela stopped mid-sentence.
What did you say?
You son of a bitch. Maricela asked icily. The pals looked at Libby in wonder since they wanted to see where this would go. See how this plays out.
Oh.
I'm going to allow this.
They don't need to prove it. She just has a bunch of reasons. Whatever. She's got him. Okay.
You're too scared to ride a horse, so that's why you think they're awful.
Libby explained. Maricela was speechless, so she turned around and stormed off. Prue was laughing at that.
You got it good.
Prue said with a laugh. She was liking Libby more by the second.
She really needs to get over herself.
Libby replied. Abigail and Lucky shook their heads.
At least she'll leave us alone now.
Abigail said helpfully. She was just happy things didn't escalate into something worse.
Lucky?
Continue.
What a weirdly prophetic line. We should continue. The flesh harvest
They
shall
stepped
not
away
wait.
from the cliff.
Lucky told her friends they went on with the tour until noon, so they took a break for lunch at Abigail's house and had sandwiches. Snips, Abigail's little brother, wanted to hang out with them, but since he was grounded, that wouldn't be happening, and the girls were happy about that.
I am too. I hate Snips.
Snips is my favorite character so far. The pals took Libby and Storm Dancer out to the creek so they could relax in the sun while they talked so they could get to know each other better. Libby was so relaxed that the whole setting reminded her of a lullaby that she used to sing to some of the younger kids from her school to calm them down. Now begin playing Athena's song from The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginning.
I say we sing this like a Kenny Winker song and just go for it.
Wait, what? Oh, how the waves roll low and the waves roll high. And so it goes under a blue, endless sky. Waves try to measure the days that we treasure. Wave hello and wave goodbye.
I think you gotta get really sad on that last line.
Wave hello and wave goodbye.
At the end of the song, Libby saw that her new friends were smiling at her.
That was pretty.
Abigail said with a smile. Libby smiled and thanked her. Soon the four girls headed back to town since the sun was starting to set.
So what do you think of Miradero?
Prue asked Libby. She hoped Libby likes it here.
I think I'm gonna like it here.
Libby answered with a smile. The pals smiled at her answer, and Storm Dancer snorted in agreement with her new human friend. The four friends went back to their houses with Libby following Lucky since she was staying with the Prescotts until she could figure out what happened. Once inside the house, Jim introduced Libby to his sister Cora. She was delighted to meet Libby as she was a nice young girl and so far a good friend to Lucky. That, in Cora's mind, was a good thing since it meant that her niece had another girl to hang out with alongside Prue and Abigail since the four of them got along. Today had been a great day. It's like the first chapter, I was like, oh, there is actually a mystery here. This is kind of cool. We're going to it's going to...
Yeah.
I mean, like, the horrible grammar or whatever is going to make it fun, but it's not just like, hey, let's introduce you to everyone in the friggin' show. Today had been a great day for Libby since she got a new horse and made some new friends that were human and horses. It made Libby extremely happy.
Centaurs?
They're human.
Who's the horses?
Horseman.
New chapter done.
Spoilers.
I don't own the song in this chapter, but I do own Storm Dancer. Please review and no flames.
Just fill the text box with flame emojis.
No flaming stakes.
I think it's funny the movies she decides to pull songs from. So far,
Yeah,
they've
there's
been
Frozen 2,
Disney
right?
sequel. Yeah, Frozen 2, but then Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginning, isn't that one of the like 90s
Video
Disney Toon Studio sequels?
Yeah, it was all the Little Mermaid sequels are straight to video, I think.
I wonder if her family's too poor to afford the originals.
Yeah, it came out in 2008.
Well,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit's on Netflix, so
Yes.
I don't know. Ariel's Beginning is probably on Disney Plus. It might have been on Netflix before Disney Plus was a thing. So yeah. Okay, well, we're past 8 o'clock here, so we had a good day because we made some friends that were humans and horses.
A lot of introductions.
People were punched. They were
So many punches.
thrown through pillars.
Murdered.
Stakes were fired. And presumably raised. Thank you for joining us. Remember it all going according to plan. Okay, goodbye. My camera has quit on us. See you next week.
I love you. Bye.